Edu Gaspar just confirmed that Arsenal wants to sign Barcelona's £65 million star. And now, Jurrien Timber faces a potential Champions League suspension after what he did during Arsenal's clash with PSV. All this and more you can check out now with the top Arsenal news directly from Emirates Stadium, so make sure to like the video and check your subscription so you don't miss any updates. And without further ado, let's get started. Arsenal are on the hunt for a new sporting director after Edu Gaspar's sudden departure left a big gap to fill. Edu left the club back in November, moving on to a new challenge in his career and leaving Mikel Arteta to navigate the season without his longtime collaborator. Now, the Gunners are actively searching for his replacement, and the leading candidate for the job appears to be Andrea Berta. Berta's track record in the transfer market is an exciting prospect for Arsenal fans, especially with expectations high for serious squad improvements in the upcoming summer window. Edu Gaspar confirmed Arsenal wanted to sign Raphinha. Arsenal's never-ending injury problems have only highlighted how thin the squad is in attack, making it clear that a striker and another winger will be absolute necessities in the summer transfer window. Edu had plenty of targets lined up, but despite that, Arteta still went into the 2024-25 season short on firepower, a decision that may have seriously hurt Arsenal's Premier League title chances. Some critics argue that Edu's transfer business wasn't up to par, especially considering the club's resurgence in recent years. But looking back, it's clear that he did try to land some top-level talent during his time at the club. Back in 2022, Edu himself revealed to Sky Sports that he had direct talks with Raphinha's camp about bringing the Brazilian to Arsenal. Unfortunately, the move never materialized, but it's proof that Arsenal were aiming high even then. Former sporting director Edu Gaspar once recalled a conversation he had with Deco, Raphinha's agent at the time, about the winger's transfer situation. Raphinha was linked with a lot of clubs, so of course we had a conversation with Deco. We have a great relationship, we're friends. Edu revealed, I simply asked, can you explain Raphinha's situation to me? He was honest and said, Edu, I won't lie to you. His dream is to play for Barcelona, and we've been in talks with them for a long time. Edu kept the door open, replying, if anything changes, let me know so we can explore the possibility. If not, no problem. As fate would have it, Raphinha got his dream move to Barcelona, leaving Arsenal to miss out on a player who could have made a real difference. Looking back, it remains a painful what-if moment for the club and its fans. It may have taken some time for Raphinha to truly establish himself in Barcelona, but now he's a key figure in Hansi Flick's squad, proving to be one of their most important attacking weapons. Before Xavi left the club, he had nothing but praise for the Brazilian. After a 2023 clash with Manchester United, the former Barca boss called him extraordinary and highlighted just how vital he was to the team. I'm the one who has trusted him the most. He's the player with the most assists in the squad. He scores. He's taking on defenders more. He's extraordinary. Xavi told the media at the time. Looking at his numbers now, it's hard not to wonder what could have been for Arsenal. Raphinha has 25 goals in all competitions this season and currently sits as the second highest scorer in the Champions League. He was the difference maker in the first leg of the Champions League round of 16, scoring the only goal in Barcelona's 1-0 win over Benfica, a reminder of the quality Arsenal missed out on. Had Edu's talks with Deco taken a different turn, Arteta's squad could look very different today. Instead, it stands as another painful what could have been moment for the Gunners. Jurrien Timber now at risk of Champions League ban after what he did during Arsenal's clash with PSV. Arsenal left the Philips Stadium with an emphatic statement, absolutely demolishing PSV Eindhoven 7-1 in the first leg of their Champions League round of 16 tie. A stunning 7-goal performance, shared between 6 different scorers, has all but secured the Gunners' place in the quarterfinals, barring an unthinkable collapse in the return leg at the Emirates Stadium. Looking ahead, Arsenal know that a much tougher challenge awaits, with either Real Madrid or Atletico Madrid standing in their way in the next round. No easy task. To navigate such a fixture, Arteta will need his squad at full strength, meaning special care will likely be taken with Jurrien Timber, who is walking a suspension tightrope over the next few matches. Every decision from here on out could be crucial as Arsenal push deeper into the competition. Jurrien Timber set the tone for Arsenal's dominant night in Eindhoven, rising at the back post to head home the opener and kick-start a 7-goal demolition of PSV. But despite his standout performance, the evening wasn't completely flawless for the Dutch defender. He picked picked up a yellow card in the 69th minute, which could have big consequences moving forward. That was Timber's second yellow card in the Champions League this season, meaning he's now one booking away from suspension. And with UEFA's rules stating that suspensions kick in after 3 yellows, it's something Arsenal will need to manage carefully. To make matters trickier, bookings aren't wiped until after the quarterfinals, meaning Timber will have to navigate at least 3 more matches without picking up another card. It's not just Timber who's at risk. Gabriel Martinelli and Raheem Sterling are also sitting on 2 yellow cards, meaning Arteta may need to be smart with his squad rotation to avoid losing key players in the crucial later rounds. Arsenal must rest Jurrien Timber for PSV's second leg, with Arsenal holding a 6-goal lead heading into the second leg of the clash with PSV. It wouldn't make sense to risk Timber and a possible suspension. One of Real Madrid or Atletico Madrid awaits, posing a serious risk with some of the forward players at their disposal. With Ben White not quite fit enough after injury, still building his way back to regular minutes, Timber could be needed for such an important tie. Risking him and a suspension in a tie that is almost secured would be a baffling choice from Mikel Arteta. For that reason, it makes sense to rest Timber in that second leg. Joshua Kimmich breaks silence on future amid Arsenal transfer links. After a decade at Bayern Munich and over 400 appearances, the idea of Joshua Kimmich leaving the Bundesliga giants still feels hard to believe. The German international has been a pillar of Bayern's success, winning 8 Bundesliga titles and a Champions League, cementing his status as one of the top midfielders in Europe. But with his contract winding down and Bayern unwilling to meet his demands, a departure is now a real possibility. Kimmich himself has confirmed that other clubs are in the mix, stating, "Other clubs also play a role in my decision on the future. I won't mention which clubs, but there will be a decision soon." It's unclear whether Kimmich is using this interest as leverage to push Bayern into offering better terms, but reports suggest the German club is standing firm on its stance. That opens the door for potential suitors, including Arsenal, who are reportedly interested in bringing him to the Premier League. The Gunners, however, face stiff competition from the likes of Manchester City and Liverpool, meaning they'll have to move fast if they want to secure one of the biggest free agent signings of the summer. How does Joshua Kimmich compare to Martin Zubimendi? It seems clear that Arsenal will be chasing at least one central midfielder this summer, as they look to rebuild an aging part of their team. Martin Zubimendi has been heavily linked with Arsenal, and thus, it could come down to picking between the Spaniard and Kimmich. The Real Sociedad man has a £51 million release clause, but would likely demand significantly more modest wages than his German counterpart would. Statistically, Kimmich profiles much more as someone who excels in possession, while Zubimendi produces more defensively. The Bayern man progresses the ball more efficiently, retains possession at a higher rate, and creates more chances than the Sociedad talisman, who wins the ball back more. However, these numbers are likely to be heavily influenced by the leagues and teams in which the two players play in, and it's difficult to imagine how this would translate to playing in the Premier League for Arsenal. Ultimately, if the Gunners can sign both and move both Partey and Jorginho on, that would represent incredibly exciting and proficient business. Well folks, those were the main news for today. If you enjoyed the video and want to stay updated on everything happening with our beloved team, you know what to do. Subscribe to the channel now and hit the bell icon so you don't miss any updates. Thanks for joining us, and until the next video.